Good evening, this is teacher Oscar for Handy English, and in today's video we're going to check phrasal verbs, especially with the verb turn. So phrasal verbs are verbs followed by a preposition which gives it a different meaning. In this case, we're going to check different phrasal verbs using the main verb turn. So we can see here our first phrasal verb will be turn against. So this is the phrasal verb we're checking. Turn against, which means, according to the example on the picture, set against or in opposition to something. For example, she turned her umbrella against the wind. This means that you have your umbrella and you turn it against something. So you turn against something. Another example could be, I turn against the government. That means that I am being rebelled against the government. That will be the meaning of turn against. Then we have the next phrasal verb, which is turn around. Turn around, in this case, we have different meanings with these phrasal verbs. Turn around, in this case, physically means physically rotate horizontally 360 degrees. So I am turning around in this moment. Turn around. But it also means, in this case, be duplicitous, which means you can't just turn around and say that it was all my fault. It means that you change your opinion all of a sudden and you say everything and something that you said before, now you change totally completely the opposite point and you just turn around your point of view. So you can't just turn around and say that it was all my fault. It means like also a kind of a rebellion, all right? So let's go to the next phrasal verb with turn, and we have turn back. It means return to a previous state of being, and the example says once we take this decision, there's nothing and there is no turning back. It means we cannot go back, we cannot turn back. So in another way of saying it, so for example, I could say, I started learning English and there's no turning back. I started learning English and there's no turning back. Okay, so I started learning English and there's no turning back. I cannot retreat. All right, the next phrasal verb with turn will be turn down, and it means to refuse, to decline, or to deny. He turned down all our offers of help. For example, I can offer you food and you say, no thank you, you're turning down my offer. Alright, so it's to refuse something. So you turn down something. The next phrasal verb will be turn in, submit something or to give. For example, he turned in his paperwork to the main office. It means just to give something to somebody else, to submit it. You can, for example, turn in your register form. You can turn the register form in the office, in the main principal office. Any example like that, all right? So we have another form of a verb which will be turn off. That will be the next one. Turn off, and it means stop a device by switching it off. This is a very common phrasal verb. So you just turn off the TV, turn off the camera, turn off the radio. So you turn off the machine and unplug it when you leave, all right? And the last one will be turn out. It means results, end up. For example, you are telling a story and suddenly you're going to say the result of that story and you say, well, and it turns out that we had a great moment. In this case, the example says the result in this example is I had hoped our first meeting will turn out better, will end up, will result better in the end of it all. And in a story like I was saying, you say it turned out to be a great moment. So I'm going to write my own example here with turn out. So I can say it turned out to be the best video. Alright, so it turned out to be the best video I've ever made. Okay, well, so this is all for our phrasal verbs with turn for tonight. And if you want to learn more about English, do not forget to give your comment below, and I can give you information about how to learn English through WhatsApp groups and get the best out of your learning. Alright, this is Teacher Oscar for Handy English. Have a wonderful learning.